a miracle that these feet do walk, and a miracle that this mouth does talk. It's a miracle, all the words you bring to this voice as my heart does sing. You're the good thoughts running through our heads, the golden sun and our daily bread. Every ocean in the shore, in all heaven and earth, who could ask for more? You are the eagle in its winged flight, the hoot-owl song in the starry night. Every baby in its mother's arms, sweetest angels that keep us from harm. What a wondrous miracle that we were born. The sun does rise on every morn, that your love shines through the darkest night and fills us with the gift of sight. You are the tree so green that grows so tall, and the hummingbirds that are oh so small, and the fire so warm, and the fire so bright, the singing whales with all their might. You are the deepest sleep that gives us rest, the rhythms beating in our breasts, and the in and out of every breath, the courage to do our very best. Of all the miracles before our eyes, that bring sweet joy into our lives, you gave your life, you gave it all. Your love's the greatest gift of all, the greatest miracle of all.
Bhadram karne vishrunuyama devaha Bhadram pashye makshabhirya jatraha Sterairangais tushtuvagum sastanubihi Vyashema devahitanyadayuhu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, O gods, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. O ye adorable ones, may we see with our eyes what is auspicious. May we sing praises to ye and enjoy with strong limbs and body the life allotted to us by the gods. Om, peace, peace, peace. All wonder begins in wonder. When we dare to believe in the unseen, align our being with higher truth, and act in faith, wonders do not just happen, they emerge through us. When we dare to believe in the unseen, align our being with higher truth, and act in faith, wonders do not just happen, they emerge through us. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here again. It's always wonderful to visit Santa Barbara and our brothers here and sisters, of course. Our topic today is manifesting wonders. Why? I wonder. Or you may wonder. Well, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you desperately want something to be or turn in a specific way to the point where you feel that you need divine intervention? Yeah. The fact that we lack control over our certain aspects of our lives goes beyond our human capacity, and yet we refuse to give up. All we need is a miracle. We yearn a miracle. Let me tell you a story. In a certain family, a man faced a dire situation when his son was on the point of death. In a desperate attempt to save his son, he sought remedies from various people. One of them offered a peculiar remedy. Here is what you need to do. First, there must be rain when the star Swati is in the ascendant. Then some of the rainwater must fall into a human skull. Next, a frog must come to drink the water, and a snake must chase it. Finally, when the snake is about to bite the frog must hop away, and the poison will fall into the skull. Seems like a lot. You must prepare a medicine from this poison and give the patient a small amount of it. If you follow these steps, the patient will live. The father eagerly consulted the almanac to determine the exact time of the star's alignment. He then set out at the right moment. With a heavy heart, he embarked on the quest to find the various ingredients. He prayed fervently to God, "O Lord, I will only succeed if you bring together all the necessary ingredients." As he searched, he prayed to God again, "O Lord, please provide me with a skull." And there it was, lying on the ground. To his astonishment, it started raining, and some of the rainwater had already fallen into the skull. "Oh, gracious Lord," he exclaimed, "I have obtained the rainwater under the Swati star and the skull as well. Oh Lord, now please bring together the remaining ingredients." Desperately searching, he spotted a poisonous snake approaching. His joy knew no bounds. He became so excited that all he could hear was the pounding of his own heart. "Oh God, now I need a frog." No sooner had he prayed that way than a frog hopped up. The snake immediately started chasing the frog. As they approached the skull, the snake was about to bite the frog when the frog jumped over the skull and the snake's poison fell into it. The man began to dance, clapping his hands in joy. If one takes shelter in God and prays to Him with great longing, God will surely listen. He will certainly make everything favorable. This is a story from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. I don't know if you're familiar with it. The nectar of the words of Sri Ramakrishna. When I read it for the first time, somehow I loved it. Because I do believe in miracles. All we need is to gather all the ingredients. Now, was that a miracle? What do you think? Did the Father simply take a passive approach, wishing for good luck or divine intervention? Was it that easy? Oh Lord, please help me. And that's it. Or did he actively engage, utilizing all his available resources, which, by the way, there were not many? Was it an active, intentional co-creation between the individual will and the underlying intelligence of the universe, or what we call God? When we dare to believe in the unseen, align our being with higher truth, and act in faith, wonders do not just happen, they emerge through us. Now, most of us, like in the story, are familiar with various ways to earnestly appeal, reach out to the divine, and make urgent demands. Are you familiar? Have you ever done it? We need to. We need to connect with something that is permanent, something that is unchanging, something we can trust. In our lives, we possess the capacity to exercise our will and make choices that influence our present and future. We cannot avoid an active life. We cannot avoid action. We all make choices. Every action is based on my knowledge of the means and ends. This is the end I want to achieve, so this would be the means to achieve it. That's all I know. Is that right? When you want something, you need to know how to get it, the means. However, there are numerous hidden variables beyond our control. Between one momentary action and another, anything can happen to us. You can have a stroke, a heart attack, an accident, or even a natural disaster. Even the means we employ to achieve an end may not be the most effective. There are many factors beyond our control. Not only that, human beings lack the power to control even in known variables due to the numerous parameters and instructions we must follow. Even when we know things, we know certain parameters. There are so many things that we do not know. We must stick to numerous procedures to accomplish our goals, procedures or instructions. I remember one day we bought for the monastery a new bookshelf. And these days, it all comes in a box, so you have to put it up together. So I asked one of the Swamis, Swami, there it is. Open the box and simply follow the instructions. Sure. Guess what happened? He thought he was following the instructions, but he did not. So all the shelves were like this. Or sometimes when you find yourself at the airport and you think you are following the right directions just by reading the signs, and you end up, in a different gate or in the wrong gate. So we must make efforts to control even the known things, stuff that we know, because mistakes can happen to us. But when we are not completely capable of controlling all the known variables, what hope do we have of controlling the unknown? Another problem is that what is unknown to us is always greater than that which is known. There is a vast scope for the unknown, and the known is very limited. Like, do you know everything? No, clearly not. There is an encyclopedia, the dictionary, but we can't really know everything. For example, we may know the color of a hibiscus, but did you know that they come in different colors and different shapes, bigger than others? In our monastery, in Ramakrishna Monastery, we have a huge hibiscus. I'm not kidding, it's this big. So what is the reason? We don't know. That's something that we are aware of, right? That there are different shapes and different colors, but many of us don't understand why these flowers come in such a variety of colors, and some have more petals than others. When our knowledge is limited to this point, how are we supposed to control the factors that are likely to vary or change? Yet, we still want the result. When we want something, we want it, period. As agents and doers, what can we do? What can we do? Nothing. There's nothing we can do about it. All we need is the strength, the determination. I'm doing this. So we can plan and take action based on the stuff that we know. We can also take precautions. But again, how are we supposed to control the unknown factors? We simply can't, because we don't know what they are or what can happen to us. Therefore, in all cultures, in all traditions, there are different ways to cope with these limitations. Different ways to reach out, to invoke, or to propitiate the one in charge of these hidden variables. The good luck, Yeah. Some of us like to call it the divine. Invoking the divine through sincere prayer can be extremely powerful. And guess what? It is necessary for us. We need to have a communion with that divine entity. We pray, we invoke the divine before, like the man in the story. Oh Lord, please, I need you. I need your help. We pray, we invoke the divine during. We pray, we invoke the divine after any undertaking. Do you do it? Try. It's good. It feels good. You feel safe. You feel stronger, secure. The entire life is a constant practice of prayer, a constant connection with the source of peace and love that never changes. It grows in you, and the more you understand, the more powerful you become. The more powerful you become. Prayer is an attitude, a welcoming attitude. Prayer is an open door, but you have to open that door. Never underestimate the power of sincere prayer. Therefore, get hold of the unseen. Get hold of God as a source of strength and security. We need to make connections with something that is permanent, something that is unchanging. Have a look at yourselves, all our relationships. Everything keeps changing. And we are desperately looking for something that doesn't change, that we can trust. It's always there. It's always present. God is the only permanent and unchanging reality. Consciousness is present in us. You are conscious beings. Can you deny that? That we call God is nothing but consciousness. And you are conscious beings. Can't deny that. Are you here? Why? You know. You are aware of your existence. You are here and now. You can't deny that. Conscious entities. God is present all the time in the form of awareness of our own reality. In the form of awareness of our own reality. Okay. He is indeed. But we forget that God is very close to us. Closer than what we think. So we must develop an intimate relationship with God. Agree? All wonder begins in wonder. When we dare to believe in the unseen, we have to believe, be certain that God is present. Align our being with higher truth. Why are we here? What's the goal of life? And act in faith. Wonders do not just happen, they emerge through us. Now, manifesting wonders is a conscious process of bringing together all the necessary ingredients. Whenever you want something so bad in your life, all you need are all these ingredients. What are they? An intense belief, a fervent faith, and a profound longing that believes everything to be possible. I know. Yes, everything to be possible. The determination, a combination of motivated intention, the power of thought, and yearning. A necessary active approach with the right attitude. You just can't sit down and wait for the divine to help you. You have to get busy, get active. The alignment with the universal power or divine grace. The alignment with the universal power or divine grace through prayer. There must be clarity of vision. Wonder begins with a vivid inner picture of what is possible. You have to feel it. There must be emotional alignment, feeling the joy and gratitude caused by the possibility of the wish already fulfilled. This acts as a magnetic force that draws the experience into your reality. That yearning is more than positive vision. It's more than that. There must be unwavering faith, the conviction that the wonder is not only possible, but it's already in motion, like in the story. There must be detachment and trust, holding the intention without clinging to how or when it will happen. There must be inspired action. Action bridges the inner world with the outer world. It's a bridge. Sri Ramakrishna says, one must be up and doing in the beginning. The winds of God's grace are always blowing. It is for us to raise the sails. The helmsman stands up and clutches the rudder firmly as long as the boat is passing through waves, storms, high winds, or around the curves of the river. But he relaxes after steering through them. As soon as the boat passes the curves and the helmsman feels a favorable wind, he sits comfortably and just touches the rudder. Next, he prepares to unfurl the sail and gets ready for smoke. Likewise, the aspirant enjoys peace and calm after passing the waves and storms of binding desires. Binding desires, yes, because desires are inevitable. And we all have them, and you know very well. They are part of our lives. They are what ignite our lives and allows us to live. Desire. We can't avoid desire. Yet, in Vedanta we say that we have to annihilate desires. That sometimes is a bit confusing when you read these things in the books. The annihilation of all desires. What that's supposed to mean? If I don't desire, then what would I eat? I need security. I need a roof. I need to take a shower. We need so many things, and we want so many things. How do we deal with that? But we have to know the consequences of not knowing how to use them. Because desires can bind you. Desires can make you slave. You can grow obsessed with desires. Desires are inevitable, but we must be cautious of those that bind us by going obsessed. Desires can deceive us into believing that achieving something will bring us fulfillment. Fulfillment and the sense of completeness. If I get this, I'll be happy. You have enough experience. Are you completely happy? Ultimately, desires should be used to our benefit. Just as desires can bind us, a well-utilized desire can also be a means of liberating us. You know, in all your life experience, you probably set a few goals in life. You can call them desires. And you fulfill them, many of them. How did you do that? Even when we stick to God to help us achieve our desires, with deep intention and determination. That's how we achieve our desires. With deep intention and determination. And also we stick to God. And God is okay with that. In our scriptures, it is said that there are different types of devotees, people who approach God with different goals. In the beginning, God is the means to achieve your desires. God, help me. Help me get this, help me get that, get a job, better salary, etc., etc., or find the right one, so that I can be happy. Until you realize out of experience that is never enough. That everything you want is not enough to feel complete. Then you understand, all I need is God in my life. Then the world, your life experience, becomes the means to the end that now is God. Did you follow? In the beginning, God is the means, and when we mature, we realize that God is now the end. And our life experience, the world, is the means. Hopefully, that's us. But if not, that's okay. At least we resort to God somehow. We have a connection with Him. In reality, it is said in our scripture that it is He Himself who fulfills all our desires. No matter the shape or name of God we resort to. After saying all this, I'd like to tell you that in Vedanta there is a term, a practice, a sadhana, a spiritual practice, that encompasses all the above ingredients and mindset that allows us to create these wonders. It's not magic, because we love that, right? Incantations and stuff like that, the metaphysics. No, in Vedanta there is a term that encompasses all the above ingredients. Remember the ingredients? Determination, stick to God, the right mindset. It's called Sankalpa. The Sanskrit term Sankalpa holds a deep significance. While often translated simply as intention, will, or resolution, Sankalpa is far more than a mere decision of the mind. It's more than that. And you know Sankalpa when you really, really want something. You don't pay attention to anything else. You go and do it. Sankalpa represents a conscious, heartfelt, and spiritually aligned act of the will that bridges the gap between the individual self and the ultimate reality. Sankalpa represents the conscious, heartfelt, and spiritually aligned act of the will that bridges the gap between the individual self and the ultimate reality. In Vedanta we call it Brahman. Rooted in the Upanishads, Sankalpa is a dynamic force, both creative and transformative, operating at the subtle level of consciousness. One of the most foundational references to Sankalpa appears in the Chandogya Upanishads, at the end of the Vedas, where the great Mahavakya, or great formula, Tattvamasi, thou art that, is revealed. In this passage, sage Uddalaka teaches his son Swetaketu about the nature of reality with this famous statement: Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma iti Sankalpaha, in Sanskrit. Verily, all this is Brahman. This is Sankalpa. This verse reveals a profound metaphysical truth. The entire universe arises from a Sankalpa. There are two Sankalpas. The cosmic Sankalpa, that comes from that ultimate reality we call Brahman, that projects the universe like a dream arising from the mind of the dreamer. It's like a play where the one appears as many. That's the cosmic Sankalpa. And then we have the individual Sankalpa. Just as the universe arises from the Sankalpa of Brahman, so too do our experiences arise from the Sankalpa, intentions held in the subtle mind. Just as a dreamer dreams a world, the individual, under the influence of ignorance, dreams a world of desires, fears, and identifies through endless Sankalpas. Each I want, I must, I should is a Sankalpa that binds the mind to future actions and future births. Thus, Sankalpa becomes the creative seed of manifestation, both cosmically and personally. Did you follow? The creative power is also within us. And it's called Sankalpa, that deep intention. Sankalpa is not merely a psychological tool, but a subtle yet powerful force that shapes human experience and binds or liberates the individual. Sankalpa is the root of all our desires. Sankalpa is a sacred act of will, focused intention that arises from the depths of consciousness and has the power to shape a reality for better or worse. When rooted in ignorance, Sankalpa binds. When rooted in wisdom, Sankalpa liberates. Same as desire. Remember I told you? Why? Because Sankalpa is the root of all desires. The moment you set your eyes on something and there is a will coming from within you to say, I want that. That's a Sankalpa. Then you start the process. How do I get that? The word Sankalpa derives from the Sanskrit roots sam, together, completely, intensely, kalpa, to resolve, to will, to imagine, a creative idea. Thus, literally means a firm, deliberate, and unified resolve. A firm, deliberate, and unified resolve. Sankalpa is no neutral, unfortunately. It carries consequences. We call them karmic consequences. In fact, it's because of Sankalpa that we are here in these bodies. Every Sankalpa, whether conscious or unconscious, sets into motion a chain of actions. A chain of actions. We have the choice to do what is right. But sets in motion a chain of action and consequences, like a mere desire, which is ego-driven. The I. Where there is Sankalpa, there is also something called Vikalpa, doubt. And doubt is very conflicting. It agitates us. The mind becomes restless. Can I get it? Will I get it? How? That's Vikalpa. Sankalpa is inherently tied to duality. I, the subject, and the wanted or wanting object is that. Therefore, Sankalpa can lead you to bondage or liberation. Yes, Sankalpa plays a paradoxical role. It can be the cause of bondage. When Sankalpa is rooted in ignorance and identification with the ego, the I and mind, it binds the soul to the cycle of birth and death. Every unexamined desire, every attachment to outcome, every mental projection becomes a Sankalpa. In the Mahabharata we find all desire, I know where thy root lies, you are born of Sankalpa. A firm resolve, I shall not think of you, and you shall cease to exist together with thy root. Thus, the constant flow of personal Sankalpas, I want this, I must become that, keeps the individual entangled in the world of duality and suffering. I'm sorry. It is what it is. At least now we know. It's heavy, huh? But unlike casual thoughts or fleeting wishes, a Sankalpa is a deliberate, emotional charged decision made by the mind in conjunction with the intellect, often rooted in the sense of I. Sankalpa arises when the buddhi, the intelligence, the intellect, guided by clarity and discrimination, the intelligence within all of us is what guides us. Oh, this is good, this is not good. Discriminates, discerns, makes a firm resolution, and can align that resolution with a higher truth. So it's not that bad. We have the power to use that Sankalpa for our benefit. In this way, Sankalpa could be a means to moksha or liberation. What is moksha? Self-mastery, mastery of your mind. To know your own mind and know the ways of the world. Once you know your mind, you are not trapped in these Sankalpas, self-centered desires, because you know nothing is going to fulfill you except your own being within you. In fact, all the experiences, the pleasures that we experience when coming in touch with sense objects, that little pleasure you get is coming from within you. And it vanishes. It has a beginning and it has an end. It doesn't last long. Because everything changes in this world. But you are the source of that fulfillment. I know, we are not taught that. We are taught to go outside, to get lost in the senses. But we have to listen, Shravana. Think about it and try to go within. How do we do that? Meditation, prayer, make connections with something that is permanent. We call God. Because God is real, you guys. God is real. When Sankalpa is aligned with something higher purpose, like self-knowledge, self-mastery, it becomes a powerful tool. It could be, for example, I dedicate my life to realizing the higher truth. That is a Sankalpa. I am not the body. I am not the mind. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am that Shiva. I am of the form of Chit, consciousness. These are assertions, that we make in Vedanta. May my actions reflect compassion and wisdom. That's another Sankalpa. Such a Sankalpa, repeated with faith and understanding, gradually dissolve false identifications and strengthens the realization of your own being. We are on our way. Sankalpa, you guys, is a vow we take. Remember the story of the man? He was determined to the point that he made a vow. I'm doing this. There is no way I'm moving away from this. Sankalpa is a vow you take. It's a practical instrument in Vedantic sadhana. You can use Sankalpa in your meditation for self-inquiry. I will remain attentive, alert, focused. You can use Sankalpa in your daily life. You can start your day with Sankalpa, being grateful, trying to be loving. I will be more patient today. I will not react. I will listen. I will remember who I am. I will act in awareness, speak with kindness. I will be coherent. What I preach is what I practice. These daily reaffirmations shapes our character and accelerate our spiritual growth. This is part of our daily practice. Many of you already practice this, but maybe you are not aware that that's a Sankalpa. It's extremely powerful. When done consciously, can really shape your character. I will stick to self-knowledge until I understand that can let God manifest through me more and more. I have to let God manifest through me more and more by tuning up with what is right, spiritual values. Such sankalpas are tools, means to an end. In the beginning, we approach God as a means to our desires, as I explained before. When through our experiences we understand that not fulfilled desires will really fulfill us, that no fulfilled desire will really fulfill us completely, then God becomes the end. Like all spiritual practices, Sankalpa is a sadhana, a means to knowledge. We seekers must use this tool, this Sankalpa, skillfully. All desires, all our desires, now that we are on this path, should conduce, all of us, guide us to our spiritual growth. The Sankalpa, for example, to study Vedanta daily, the Sankalpa to remember God, the Sankalpa to stay inspired, the Sankalpa to come here for satsanga. Now, what is the ultimate Sankalpa? Because it is true, as living beings in this dream, we are full of desires. And sometimes we wonder, what we desire, is that aligned with my spiritual life? Sometimes we can accept the reality and we don't want to give up. And we expect a miracle. Why not? There is nothing wrong as long as you are aware of the consequences. It may be helpful to your spiritual growth. Or it may bind you. Whatever it is, if you are not ready yet, it doesn't matter. You need more experience. Experience will get you there. But you have to be sincere and stick to God. He will give you the mind, the understanding. The ultimate Sankalpa is what we call Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. I am that consciousness. I say, wait a minute. What do you mean that you are that ultimate reality? Yes, why not? Yes. It's a fact of life. Limited by all our labels we put upon ourselves. Limitations. I am so and so, I am this, I am that, tall, short, etc. But nothing can deprive you of your awareness of your existence. You are conscious beings. You are the self. Aham Brahmasmi. And slowly, if you stick to that, you will expand. You will grow. The highest expression of Sankalpa in Vedanta is not a personal goal or a selfish goal, but the affirmation of our identity with Brahman. Aham Brahma Asmi, I am Brahman, is coming from one of the Upanishads. We find at the end of the Vedas. Therefore, we call that Veda Anta. Is itself the most powerful Sankalpa. When we stick to that Sankalpa, that transforms our entire lives. We start getting confidence in ourselves. We start getting the strength coming from within us. Not just that, we are comfortable respecting others, honoring others. We are comfortable accepting also the confidence that others should have. Not that I should feed at the cost of others. That's what we usually do, right? We look upon other people's weaknesses and we feed on that. But when you rely upon your own self, you start trusting your own being. And you accept others also with their limitations. But they are also on the path, just like you. When this statement is not merely repeated, but deeply felt and internalized, if I am the self, you are also the self. And I am there, I should honor you. That's why in India we say Namaste. We recognize the divine self in each other. When this statement is not merely repeated but deeply felt and internalized, it becomes a transformative force to assert yourself. It reverses the fundamental ignorance of I am the body and replaces it with the liberating truth of non-separation. I am the self, the one without a second Brahman. In the Mandukya Upanishad, we find the entire world of experience arises from thought. The entire world of experience arises from thought, and it ceases when the thought, I am the body, is replaced by the Sankalpa, I am the self. In deep sleep, there is no Sankalpa. Did you notice that? There is no sense of I. You just sleep profoundly, and when you wake up, all you remember is, oh my God, I was so happy. I need that. I love it. I want to go into that deep sleep. Why is that? Because you are so close to that real nature of yours, that there is no sense of I. You get the touch of your own bliss. And you feel complete in that state. You remember? All we remember is when we come back to the waking state. You say, oh my God, I want to go back there. Because there you are complete. There is no Sankalpa. I want this, I want that, I should change myself. The moment you wake up, Sankalpa returns. I need this, I need to do this, I forgot that. And immediately the world reappears. Thus, we need the Sankalpa to stay alert and focused. Otherwise, where there is Sankalpa, there is also the possibility for bondage. Liberation is not the fulfillment of all our desires, but the freedom from the need to will, the freedom from the need to resolve or to become. That's true fulfillment. In that state, the question, what should I do, is replaced by, I am complete. The mind, though it may still function, no longer operates from the place of lack or the place of desire. The person is itself fulfilled. And that's our goal in Vedanta, to come back to ourselves. Go within. Sankalpas arise and dissolve without binding the one who knows, I am the witness of this changing reality. The highest teaching is therefore not how to make better Sankalpas, but how to rest in the self within us, beyond all Sankalpas. You don't need a resolution to be what you already are. Yet, we have to get there. So we need resolutions. Thus, the final Sankalpa is not to achieve something, but to remember what one already is, what you already are. Now, if you still want to manifest wonders, the process, just to remind you, you need to get all these necessary ingredients: an intense belief, a fervent faith, a profound longing that believes everything to be possible, even the removal of all your binding desires. The determination, a motivation, a combination of motivated intention, the power of thought and yearning, a necessary active approach with the right attitude. I'm doing this. I'm going to get up early morning, take a shower, and sit and remember the Lord. Make connections with the divine. That will give you peace, will give you calmness. And calmness is essential in your daily life. Otherwise, we keep reacting. See what happens when you drive the highway. A necessary active approach with the right attitude. And the most important thing, the alignment with the universal power or divine grace. That is very important, you guys. We need divine grace. All wonder begins in wonder. When we dare to believe in the unseen, align our being with higher truth, and act in faith, wonders do not just happen, they emerge through us. What is that greater wonder? The greatest wonder that needs to emerge from us? to become what we already are. That is the greatest wonder and the greatest Sankalpa that we have to embrace in our lives. We have to let the divine manifest through us fully, not just a little bit. Completely. Let God manifest through us completely. Until then, we have to pay attention to our resolutions and our needs and our desires. As long as they don't bind us and they are means that can help us grow spiritually, then they are okay. Because there is no other way. In this life, we can't avoid desire. But we have to know how to use it. Thank you.
Endless springs in the cave of my heart, where shines your light through all of the darkness. Your waters wash my face from the tears that do fall, and fill my heart with your grace, ocean of bliss over all, ocean of bliss over all. You are the faces we see in all the places that be. You are the sounds that we hear through all the forms that appear. You are the day and the night, the power that fills us up with sight, the mystery of life and of death, the wind that moves every breath. You are without and within, my precious Lord and my friend, the Mother creating us all, both the great and the small. Brahman is all and is one, Atman and Brahman are one. Within the cave of my heart, Atman and Brahman never will part, never will part. Endless springs in the cave of my heart, where shines your light through all of the darkness. Your waters wash my face from the tears that do fall, and fill my heart with your grace, ocean of bliss over all, ocean of bliss over all, ocean of bliss over all.
Always beautiful. Thank you for that song. Let me see if I can do this right. So, August 24th, Swami Dhyanayogananda will be here, and the topic is Steps to Realization. Also, Wednesdays classes at 5 p.m. No specific date, just Wednesdays. classes, Saturday classes at 5 p.m.
Please mention Swami Dhyanayogananda.
Yes, I'm coming there. Thank you, sister. The Divine Touch, August 23rd. The Divine Touch of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Bodhisattvananda, is the Assistant Secretary of the Ramakrishna Order of Monks. He's a wonderful monk. He's a beautiful Swami. He's my friend, and yeah, he's going to be here. That's wonderful.
At 5 o'clock, followed by potluck.
Okay, it's not stated here. So 5 o'clock, 5 p.m., followed by potluck. Don't miss that. Thank you so much. I will close with a chant. I will meet you all outside, and we can come back if you have questions or comments. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that outer world is Purna, full of divine consciousness. This inner world is also Purna, full of divine consciousness. From Purna comes Purna. From the fullness of divine consciousness, the world is manifested. Taking Purna from Purna, Purna indeed remains, because divine consciousness is non-dual and infinite. Om, peace, peace, peace. Thank you.
About utilizing these other desires, I think of it almost as alchemy, perhaps. Using those lesser desires, if you will,
Okay.
to seek God.
Right.
And because of where I'm at on my spiritual journey, like I'm very distrustful of my own desires, other than that lust for God.
Correct. Well, that's very good.
And I wondered if you could elaborate a bit on
Well,
these other desires. I don't know if I have.
see, we are beings of desires. Like there is a desire to preserve our bodies, to stick to life. Okay? So if somebody comes here and starts shooting, you will start running to preserve your life. So there is a very basic desire of life preservation, also to stay safe, or to remain secure. For that, you need certain things. You need a roof, you need food, etc. So you work for that. So you need these desires with you. The thing is, what do you do with your life? What's the goal in your life? Well, my goal is to lead a life centered in spiritual values. Perfect. Okay, so all your actions in words, thoughts, and deeds will lean towards that spiritual value of yours, which is to practice the right action, again, in word, thought, and deed. Meaning you have to be coherent. Okay? For that undertaking, you also have lots of desires, because you have to get up early morning to remember the Lord, or meditate, or you have to stay clean. You have so many things. You have the type of breakfast that you like. You have interaction. You have to make a living. Life goes on, right? But now your life has a purpose. Centered on that purpose, a specific purpose, which is to help yourself grow spiritually, all your actions will be conducive to that. Okay, and for that you also need Sankalpa, determination.
Right.
Like I'm doing this, right? You brought your body here to listen to this talk today. Maybe you drove, I don't know how many miles, etc., etc. So you made a sacrifice. Okay, so life is full of sacrifices. Tiny little sacrifices. That for everything that you want, you have to sacrifice or pay the cost of. This is life. So sometimes there is a misconception about, and it's very strong, and indeed it's very strong, because most of the desires, when we are not alert, truly bind us. If we are not alert, and if we just are not aware of the means that we take in order to fulfill our desires, Meaning, I don't care what happens to, I'm going to get this, whatever. My way. Or
Yeah.
So we have to stay very alert and be very sincere with us. Mhm. That takes time. Because in the beginning, you could be down for this. But to observe your mind, to observe your behavior and habits, that takes time. Takes time to just be, maybe I should change this. I don't know if is that,
Yeah, that's very helpful.
was that clarifying? Good. So we can't avoid life, and life is wonderful. We can't avoid to stay active in our lives. Like life is action. You have to get up, you have to do this, you have to do that. So all we can think about is what is our attitude towards life? What is our attitude towards every single action? Whether it's selfish or whether it aligns with the divine purpose, where there is mutual respect, love, compassion, understanding, patience, empathy, etc., etc. There is a reason why you have to be good. Not because religion says so, because it's for your own benefit. Because if you don't, you will have to pay the price for that. So the intelligent being is who he uses his intelligence for his own benefit. Many people are obsessed with doing good, and in that obsession they fall short. Because that needs to be understood. This purpose that we embrace in our lives needs to be understood and carried on with sincerity. Regardless of the religion and the symbol of God you choose. And Vedanta says you have to come back to yourself. You have to understand and accept who you are. See, it's possibly everybody heard what I said about our identity with that ultimate reality we call Brahman or consciousness. Now, you heard that, and you go, oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, but okay, take your time, take it in.
Yeah, that doesn't, I don't understand. That's why I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, we can work together.
Yeah. I'm just
But
trying to figure it out.
take your time to chew it, swallow it, digest it, accept it. That God is within you. What's your name? Hal. As Hal. God is within you and manifests through you as Hal. God is within you and manifests through you as Len. So, the moment we say God is within you and manifests through you, and when we say us, we are limiting and shrinking God. Our goal in life is to let God manifest through you completely by getting rid of all your limitations, the I and mine, then me and for me only, our selfishness. Now, that being said, it's not so easy because in practical life, everybody's selfish. And you better protect yourself. Sometimes you have to stay away from the lion, God, or from toxic people, or from people who want to manipulate you. They are all divine beings. God is also manifesting through them as them, but you have to protect yourself. So life is not so easy. We are living in a jungle. Right? But we should know the right means to lead a spiritual life. God manifests within you as you. It's a fact of life. God is nothing but Chaitanyam, consciousness. Like everything is filled with life. Even this desk, this mic, everything is filled with consciousness. You accelerate the velocity of every single atom, we will all turn into light. Yet we are subject to the laws of nature. Everything we experience is subject to change. And the change in reality is a source of fear. We are afraid because things are changing. We want to preserve, we want the permanent. We'll never find it in the outside world. The only way to find what is permanent is within you. So you better start learning how to go within you, how to make connections with yourself. Religions approach to this without explaining much, and they say, pray to Jesus, pray to God, pray to Mary, right? And I used to do that, mechanically. It felt good though. Maybe that was the reason why I started searching for something, because I did feel something special, and I like it. Since I was a kid, I was you kind of fall into an inner state where you feel good and at peace with yourself, right? We have to increase that habit, make that a permanent habit in our lives, because we need tranquility. We need calmness. Because this world is constantly we are all in a pan under the stove, with the fire under. So we are all jumping. So we need calmness. Otherwise, we keep reacting. So we need to give our minds a seat to rest. That's the spiritual practice. That's the Sankalpa. That's the resolution that you have to make. If you give your mind rest every day for 5 minutes at least, 5-10 minutes, you can do that. Right? You will see the difference. It's just like a workout plan. In the beginning, it's hard, it's heavy, you're sore, oh no, I have to show up again, Then you start liking it, you start getting the taste, until you cannot do without visiting that state, that place, inner space, every day. You have to close your eyes and make a communion. That will give you peace of mind. And once you have that, you will see the change in your life. Because you are less reactive, you will suffer less. People will say, oh, you look good. You will feel peaceful. In religions, very few religions really explain this. But it is true, you guys, we are slaves of nature. We live in our bodies, and our bodies are subject to the laws of nature. Even our minds, our subtle bodies. So we have to understand this. That's the reason why we study Vedanta. In Vedanta, humbly speaking, I can't just talk for everybody, but I found all the answers I needed. Vedanta is not a religion. If you want to use that word, you have to talk about a universal kind of religion, where all these principles, we make common ground with all religions, right? But this is not a religion. It's about you, about who you are, what is the purpose of your life in this very world, and how do you get out of all these limitations that we have. That's Vedanta for you. So we are sharing, but we can't really share everything. It will take years, for every single thing to, explain. And so we encourage you to get inspired. Now, if you are intellectually curious, there are many books you can read. And many of us are ready to answer questions. That's right. But if you don't want to bother too much, okay, get hold of dualistic practices. Dualistic practices meaning you project God. You superimpose God upon an image or a personality. Could be Jesus, you know, and you start a relationship. Like, for example, even though I'm extremely non-dualistic, in my daily life, I'm very dualistic because I need to stay inspired at any cost. Right? So I need symbols to be reminded of my real nature. Symbols to be reminded of my identity with that ultimate reality. Either an image of my teacher, something that inspires me. I do it, you guys, all the time. I see this and you go, oh, what is there? It's a painting. But the painting has a meaning. If I spit on that, you will say, whoa, Swami, don't do that. That's a sin. Because to us, that image has a meaning. And we have to respect it. What do we do when we go to church? We see the cross, immediately, oh my God, God is here. Like, So you honor the symbol and the meaning of the symbol. And that helps you. So we have to use dualistic means to come back to ourselves. That's why sometimes devotion is good, Some people are just natural devotees, Just they want to pray every day or go to church or come to just do, I don't know. There are many traditions or groups that have different practices. To mention a few, Hare Krishnas or other organizations that have their own ways of practicing. Maybe for them it's good, because being among a group of people is inspiring for them, or just wearing a specific robe. I mean, I go to my room and I change. Wear my jeans. It's not. I'm doing this for you guys, and myself, of course. And I honor my robes, but and I'm here, so I don't really have to wear my robes or this skirt all the time. Only when I'm in public. But what I mean to say is that for many people it's important to wear certain robes or just to wear marks on their heads or face. Have you ever seen that? Or ashes, or even tattoos. Tattoos could be very meaningful to you. So you can do something that, I remember now. I don't have any, but I always thought maybe here is a good place. Because there is a meaning.